So welcome to the section B, evaluation of the paper Ethology, Evolution and Zoology of 5th semester B.Sc Zoology core. This presentation brings to you the introduction to evolution. The evolution, the term comes from two Latin words, which means from, and volvere means to roll. And the whole term evolution means the act of unrolling or unfolding. Uh, According to this, it is actually the higher forms of life gradually giving rise to the lower forms. This term was first used by Charles Bonner, extrapolating from progressive embryogenesis, that is the development of the embryo, in individuals to the development of a species. Uh, However, there is another view which says that Herbert Spencer, the English philosopher, was the first to use the term evolution. Evolution has been defined as gradually orderly change from one condition to another. The principle of evolution implies the development of an entity in the course of time through a gradual sequence of changes from a simple to a more complex state. So that is what evolution refers. That is, it's a gradual change or transformation from a simple primitive state to a complex advanced state. Um, Charles Darwin defined evolution as descent with modification, that is, closely related species resembling one another because of their inheritance and differing from one another because of the hereditary differences accumulated during the separation of their ancestors. So, in other words, evolution is a process by which related populations diverge from one another, giving rise to new species or higher groups. The process of evolution can be categorized into uh, two, namely inorganic evolution and organic evolution. The inorganic evolution relates to the non-living world, and the organic evolution to the living world. Inorganic evolution, it is otherwise known as chemical evolution or molecular evolution, it leads to origin of life. Here, the evolution took place, and here you can see that the development of non-living matter into living matter, or evolution of non-life into life. That is what happens during the course of evolution in molecular level. Thus, during chemical evolution that occurred around 4,600 millions of years ago, subatomic particles aggregated to form atoms of different elements. Elements evolved into simple inorganic molecules. Simple inorganic molecules gave rise to organic macromolecules such as amino acids, and macromolecules developed into macromolecules such as proteins by self-assembly process. Certain macromolecules developed the ability of self-duplication and aggregated to form the first primitive living systems. These living systems evolved into prokaryotic cells, which formed the kingdom Monera. So that is the origin of life over here. And we can see that the, the changes that occur in the organic matter of the universe can be of three kinds. The first, the changes of external form, and to some extent those of the internal structure, and it is caused by the disintegration and aggregation of masses of matter. For example, as in the case of formation of rocks and in the successive modifications of Earth's surface. The second, it is a state of matter. The changes in the state of matter dependent on the amount of heat received from without or from within, that is generated within the cosmic bodies. The third, it is the chemical changes by which the constitution of matter becomes so modified as to give uh, new compound special characters and properties which usually remain unchanged for indefinite periods. So the various kinds of matter produced by these changes seem to be permanent, so long as the conditions remain the same. And by changes of conditions, they become interchangeable. But when they are not subjected to these changes, they may remain inert and it may undergo excessively slow degradation or decomposition. And that is what we refer as it remaining unchanged for indefinite period. Now, the organic evolution or the biological evolution, actually, it starts with from the uh, culmination point of the chemical evolution. That is where the chemical evolution has stopped. That is with the origin of life. From there, the organic evolution or the biological evolution starts. And this leads to the origin of species. So the concept of organic evolution holds that all the varied kinds of animals and plants which are now known have developed out of earlier types of completely natural, gradual but continuous changes during the passage of time. It consists chiefly of adaptive radiations into new environments, adjustments to environmental changes that take place in a particular habitat, and the origin of new ways for exploiting existing habitats. These adaptive changes occasionally give rise to greater complexity of developmental pattern, of physiological reactions, and of interactions between populations and their environment. The product of organic evolution is thus the origin of species, or evolution of old species into new ones. For example, during organic evolution, under certain environmental stresses, certain autotrophic, heterotrophic, anaerobic, and aerobic prokaryotic cells of kingdom Monera started symbiotic relationship and evolved into eukaryotic plant and animal cells to form kingdom Protista. Later on, during the course of evolution, kingdom Protista evolved and gave origin to three kingdoms, that is plantae, fungi, and animalia by adaptive radiation. So here we can see that this leads to emergence of highly complex group of organisms, and the species of animals and plants evolve. They are advanced groups or advanced forms. So the branch of biology which incorporates in it the studies concerning the problems of chemical evolution and origin of life, the organic evolution and the origin of species, uh, all these are included under evolutionary biology. Okay, right. Thank you.